Imagine opening your eyes on a cool summer morning nearly 800 years ago. There's no sound of traffic outside your window, no glowing phone resting beside your bed, and no electric light filling the room. Instead, you awaken to the gentle song of birds drifting across open fields and the distant ringing of a church bell echoing through the quiet countryside. The first thing you notice is the smell: fresh earth, damp wood, smoke from last night's fire, and cool morning air mixed together in a way that feels strangely peaceful. Beneath you is not a soft mattress, but a simple straw-filled sack covered with rough linen. It is far from comfortable by modern standards, yet for an ordinary peasant, it is simply another ordinary morning. Slowly you sit up and stretch your tired muscles. Yesterday was another long day of working in the fields, and today will be much the same. Life here follows the rhythm of nature. The rising sun decides when you begin, and darkness tells you when the day has ended. Outside your small wooden cottage, the village is beginning to wake. Thin streams of smoke rise from dozens of chimneys as families prepare the first meal of the day. Chickens wander freely across muddy paths, while a curious dog quietly watches them from the doorway of a nearby house. Everything feels calm, slow, and deeply connected to the land. The village itself is surprisingly small. Perhaps only a few hundred people live here, and nearly everyone knows one another by name. Children run barefoot across damp grass, while elderly villagers slowly make their way toward the tiny stone church standing at the center of the settlement. Its bell has become the heartbeat of the community, marking the hours of work, worship, and rest. You pull on your simple linen tunic, fasten a worn leather belt around your waist, and step outside. The cool air touches your face as the morning mist still hangs above the nearby wheat fields. Dew sparkles on every blade of grass, catching the first golden rays of sunlight. For just a few quiet moments, the world seems perfectly still. Breakfast is already waiting inside. It is simple but filling: a thick slice of dark rye bread, a small bowl of vegetable pottage, and fresh water drawn from the village well. Meat is rare, reserved mostly for special occasions or religious festivals. Most ordinary mornings begin exactly like this, with humble food shared around a rough wooden table. There is no hurry, yet everyone understands that the fields are waiting. Every hour of daylight matters. A poor harvest could mean hunger during the coming winter, and every member of the family has a role to play. As you leave the cottage once again, you follow the narrow dirt path leading toward endless stretches of farmland. Wooden fences divide small plots of land, while birds circle high above the countryside. Somewhere in the distance, an ox slowly pulls a heavy wooden plow through dark, fertile soil. Nearby, another farmer scatters grain by hand with practiced movements repeated thousands of times before. The work is slow, physical, and demanding, yet there is a quiet beauty hidden within its rhythm. The breeze carries the scent of wildflowers growing beside the fields. Bees drift lazily from blossom to blossom, completely unaware of the human struggles unfolding below them. Even the sound of rustling wheat seems to whisper gently across the landscape. For the people living here, nature is not simply something to admire. It is everything. It decides whether children will eat well during winter. It determines whether families celebrate or mourn. Every cloud crossing the sky is watched carefully. Every unexpected rain remembered for years. As the sun climbs higher, the village behind you slowly disappears beneath the warm golden light. Ahead lies another long day of honest work, quiet conversations, and simple moments that history books rarely describe. Yet it is these ordinary lives, repeated day after day for centuries, that quietly built the foundations of the medieval world. So, as you settle in and allow your breathing to slow, imagine yourself walking gently beside these ancient paths, listening to the distant church bell once more, feeling the cool breeze moving through endless fields of wheat, while the busy world of today slowly fades away behind you. As the morning quietly unfolds, the village settles into its familiar rhythm. Every person knows exactly where they are needed, and every task has been repeated countless times by generations before them. There is comfort in this routine, even if the work itself is difficult. The path beneath your feet is uneven, worn smooth by centuries of footsteps. Countless farmers, children, merchants, and travelers have walked this same road long before your own journey began. Each footprint tells a silent story that history has almost forgotten. The wheat fields stretch endlessly toward the horizon, gently moving with each passing breeze, like the fire crackles softly as supper is shared around the worn wooden table. No one speaks very loudly. After a long day beneath the summer sun, quiet conversation feels more comforting than excitement. A loaf of dark rye bread is passed from hand to hand. A steaming pot of vegetable pottage sits in the center of the table, seasoned with herbs gathered from the nearby fields. A small piece of cheese is carefully divided so that everyone receives a fair portion. For these villagers, wasting food is almost unthinkable. Every crumb has value, every harvest has required countless hours of labor, and every meal is a reminder that another day has been survived. As darkness slowly settles across the countryside, families gather closer to the warmth of the fire. Children listen quietly, while grandparents tell stories that have been passed down for generations. Some speak of brave knights and distant castles. Others tell gentle tales about mysterious forests, wandering pilgrims, and strange lights sometimes seen dancing across lonely hills on quiet nights. Whether every story is true hardly matters. The stories bring comfort. They help explain a world that still holds many mysteries. Outside, the village grows almost silent. The last wooden door closes with a gentle thud. A single lantern glows faintly near the church before its light disappears into the night. Above the rooftops, countless stars continue their slow journey across the heavens. Without realizing it, you begin to understand something that modern life often forgets. These people possess very little by today's standards. Their homes are small, their tools are simple, their days are filled with demanding work. Yet they also experience long moments of peace that have become increasingly rare in the modern world. There are no advertisements competing for attention, no endless stream of breaking news, no glowing screens asking for another glance, no notifications pulling your thoughts away from the quiet moment you are living. Instead, each evening comes to a gentle close beneath an open sky filled with countless stars, while the peaceful rhythm of village life continues exactly as it has for generations. The fire slowly burns lower. Its warm orange glow becomes softer with every passing minute. The room grows quiet. Only the gentle crackling of dry oak logs breaks the silence. You carefully spread fresh straw across your simple bed and pull a rough linen blanket over your shoulders. It is not luxurious. It is not especially soft. Yet after a long day of honest work beneath the summer sun,